Everyone's here from the looks of it. And I doubt Donovan's gonna drop by.
What's got you grumpy, Red?
How did we even get here, Reuben?
Which part?
Which part? Half the region's on fire. Distortions are changing form. You may end up behind bars, and it's all because of your fucking uncle. Explain from the beginning. How the hell did we get here, Reuben?
Artemis, hold on.
What? Let me guess. You want to take his side in all this and say he didn't do anything wrong.
This isn't an interrogation. This is our friend, our ally, and someone we both know usually does things with a good reason.
Says the one who can't sense disasters.
Look, I know you want to get answers for all this, but don't villainize him.
We both know good people can do bad things in various circumstances. The least we can do is hear out this one. Fine. Go ahead, Reuben. What happened in this family quarrel of yours?
Hold on. We were all together when we went to stop Huger. When did he have time to curse him?
When I got a moment alone with him. But you want me to go to the beginning? Very well. I'll regale you. Growing up in Midnight Forest, we were well into the occupation of the new masters. I guess you can say I was fighting for a world I'd never even seen before. My family, all of us being a part of Horizon, was working under the Lunaris, or my mom, who did our best to keep the family life and organization life completely apart. To that end, we never did anything related to Horizon when we were in our home. When we were out of it, though, in other bases and locations, that changed completely. It was kind of like living a double life. Few were better at that swap than my mom's brother, Hugor. A caring and fun uncle, but a terrifying individual even then. He was someone I actually looked up to back then. Looking back now, though, their roles at the time only paint a darker picture. Interrogator, fighter, information gatherer, even more. That Ninetales was great at filling in the gaps that were in my family. We did not want for someone to take care of the dirtier tasks. He usually fought until the person would give him what he wanted, and he had a way of getting what he wanted. A day came when we all returned home to Midnight Forest, and everything was how we left it. Time passed. We got comfortable. Minutes. Hours. And then it happened. We got ambushed. We were caught off guard entirely. New masters, zealots, all over the place. And without a second thought, they went straight for violence. We defended ourselves. We tried to defend ourselves. I couldn't defend myself. I couldn't do a thing beyond being a minor inconvenience. I could only watch as our home was taken apart. My friends, my family were killed, captured, got lucky enough to escape, or were part of the damn coup themselves. And at the center of it all, I watched that Voidtail coordinate the attack. Had it not been for Jericho, I would have gone and tried to attack him myself. Had it not been for Jericho, I what? I wouldn't be here, most likely. I would have been captured and just dragged out to Aberloth like he was. It was just me and Jericho for a while, practically a year, if not longer, before they found us. Once more, I'm too weak to do anything about it besides just run. Leave him behind. It's what he wanted. A week after that, I met Sapphire, and the rest is mostly known history. Even now, I feel my every action, my life, my choices have been dictated in some way by that asshole. He took almost everything from us. From me! That's why I hate him. That's why I want him dead.
Certainly got the motive for it.
You'd want the same.
Consider how I met your mother.
Touché.
You're not a killer, Reuven.
No, I'm not. Had I been, we wouldn't be in this position. That doesn't change the fact that I...
Had you been, Team New Dawn would be short a team member and you'd be sitting in a cell.
Seriously? This crap again?
Apollo, you would put him behind bars for taking down a mass murderer?
I would put him behind bars for jeopardizing the team and failing to control himself. I can't have a rescuer in my care that thinks killing is fine, so long as you rationalize it.
Then what? Would you rather I do nothing and let the authorities handle my problems instead?
Exactly. You're not the judge, jury, and executioner, Reuven. Personal ties only cloud that decision.
And it would have kept the world much safer if he had.
Enough! Let's get back on track. Answer Sapphire's question, Reuven. What happened at Aberloth?
Right. Let me try to remember. The sun shines now. Those words would orchestrate the beginning of the end of Aberloth Prison, as the inmates began to rebel and strike back against those who held them in captivity. The moon sets upon you, Voidtail. Voidtail. That was his name now. His relationship with me meant nothing. After all, he proved that himself. I was left behind with him as he had laid there in front of me unconscious. It would have been so easy to end him then and there. I knew how to do it, but I couldn't bring myself to. As much as I wanted him dead, I couldn't end it. Even as I tried to force myself to, knowing it would bring me and my family peace, the invasive thoughts took over. What would happen if Team New Dawn was seen as just another group of thugs, unable to bring light or peace into the world? My mission in Horizon was to make the world a better place from the shadows. My mission as a rescuer is to be a beacon of hope to those who need aid. It was at this time where it conflicted with my desire. It would be so easy, but your demise won't be at my hand. Such swiftness would be a mercy. A self-justification of what I felt was my own weakness. But make no mistake, if I couldn't end him, I'd make him regret this. You know the first time you learn to swear? A strange word or phrase with a lot of weight and implication. Something you know is bad, and you tell yourself you shouldn't say it in front of the wrong people. Yet when your emotions run high, such restraint no longer applies. Now apply that to a curse. It was a simple matter to get a reflex out of him to grab my tail. The power that flowed through me was starting to become familiar, started to feel good, yet neither fear nor uncertainty flowed through me. Anger? No, it was deeper than that. Malice. The words said and cast were even more known to me, a curse with a known purpose that I learned and studied. I picked it up from my mom, who used it when a group of thugs tried to attack us many moons ago. Funny that I get to use it here, on her brother. Of course, I would return to the others after, intent to leave this a family affair. But fate has had other plans.
So what kind of curse was it?
I would have him afflicted by the pain and suffering that he caused others throughout his entire life. The ones he hurt, the ones he killed, Aberloth, my family, all of it. He wouldn't know a day of peace for his actions, that void tale. Sleep would bring no reprieve from the consequences, and consciousness will only allow it to sear deeper. I cannot bring him death, but I can make him beg for it.
Reuven,
Yes?
please take a deep breath.
Oh, sorry.
So that's why you took so long to catch up. I thought you were trying to see if there were games or something on the computer.
Nope, just had to deal with a moral dilemma.
So what's the real reason you didn't do it?
Like I said, I didn't want it to affect you guys or lose trust in others.
So you think people stopped trusting us when we took down Oriana, one of the big leaders of the new masters?
She was on Giga, Saf. We didn't know it would kill her. With Hugor, this is different.
Are you sure that made a difference? For us it would, but consider those who were around. The people he killed, tortured, scarred for life, families they ripped apart for their own selfishness. I think we would have been okay. However, you should have told us when it happened.
I thought you guys would have stopped me.
I mean, I wouldn't have done that.
Even I didn't find out what was going on until the act was done.
I had to drag it out of you to find out why the prison was contacting me for his panic attacks.
And here I am, having never known until a couple days ago. Evidently, you didn't plan to tell me anyone either.
No, I only told my mom and a couple siblings. Even then, it didn't matter until Elena was found.
What made her the linchpin?
The only reason she was still alive was because of him. She was stuck in a curse of immortality and suffering with never-healing wounds.
And that sent you to the prison.
I had to figure out why.
Alone?
I had Kua with me.
Of course you had your shadow with you.
Would you prefer I went alone?
Wouldn't have allowed it, knowing who you were going to see.
What happened during the visit, Reuven?
It was after Team Eclipse found Elena. Me and Kua flew away from the mission site and went immediately to Malva City. I go there more times than I can count, from taking prisoners there myself to making sure Hugor hasn't done anything worse than sit there. A sneer and a jeer to the guards, but little more. Kua didn't leave my side, nor did I ask him to leave. Work with someone for a majority of your life, and they're practically family to you. And in this case, better than family. Seeing Elena alive was both a joy and a pain. Shocking that she was still alive, and yet... why? Why was she still alive like this? I had to go figure it out.
He's right here as usual. You have 15 minutes. I gotta get home soon.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Hugor, you have a visitor.
At this hour, who would... Oh... The heroes of Cassia themselves, making time for little old me. Oh, you really shouldn't have.
We can make time for little people when the need arises. We'll take it from here, Evelyn.
To what do I owe the displeasure of seeing you two again? Gloating, move me to a more secure prison, finally putting me out of my misery.
This.
What is this?
A list of names of the family members that we have and had.
Thought you would recognize it. Shows how detached you are from your own family. Then again, you did work to kill them.
You know how faulty memories can be. Usually we forget what isn't important. If they're dead, they're gone. If they're missing, good luck. If I had them, you rescued them. What about them?
Do you know what happened to any of the missing?
Are you deaf, boy? Whether or not I do, as I said, good luck.
Tell us something. For those who were in Avalov that you knew of, how did they suffer? Aside from putting them to work, what did you do?
Why do you care?
There are several people whose lives continues on, but are stunted with trauma because of what you did. Helping them could lead to a reduced sentence, restore some goodwill in a world that's getting more and more concerning. An understanding of what you did can help alleviate some suffering. It can also personally help with my books.
Your books?
Yeah, I novelized our adventures and I wanted to get a better light on the events of Aberlov. Your input for what we don't know could be great, and given how the first book went, you could easily make far more than the new masters ever paid you from the sales alone. Could lead to a self-paid bail, even.
Kua, we can't just make that happen, you know.
Think about it, Reuven. Do you think that anyone would question if he worked his way out of jail on his own merit after all this time, compared to Desolute? It's a far easier sale. A word from us, and it would work. That is, it would only work if Hugor helps us.
If only to piss him off.
Thus, they got to talking. We call it a name, and he can usually tell us what happened to them, if he happened to remember. He was more than ready to slander those who sought escape, but laughed, cackled even, at the thought of those who broke easy, who were subservient to the very end. I held my ground for the most part, even when he discussed and cursed Jericho's name. Where he wanted those in Aberlof to suffer perpetually, Jericho offered comfort and healing. I used to look up to this guy. I didn't realize how twisted he was till then. It made it clear, after 33 years of being behind bars, rehabilitating apparently, he didn't get better. It made it clear he did not change.
So I got just a couple more names here, Hugor. What about Elena?
Oh, my niece. She's long gone too. Tried to lift people's spirits with that damn singing of hers. I can't have that. That's how you lose control. I couldn't just get rid of the voice though, that wouldn't do. Tape to cover her mouth, guards to punish every word she uttered, prisoners searching for succor who would report back to me, but her song had a way of fixing them. I even sent her down to work in the mines, clear away those who'd worked till they dropped, and she still stayed strong. She almost caused an interaction with her melodies. She was becoming more trouble than she was worth. I struck her down when she dared stand against me. I cursed her when she dared stand against my authority. I cast her to the deepest pit within the facility when she helped that stupid bird escape. And then you all showed up, and you stripped her away anyways. Funny how I was worried about the oldest in my care, when I should have worried about the youngest as he dared. Oh, that's right. The curse made it so she couldn't die. So she may be lost to the depths of Aberlof, caved in, rotting away, as Arceus will never shine his light to wish her the sweet release of her death. I can see it in your eyes, Reuven. Good luck finding her. I don't even know what became of her at this point.
So she's been there for 33 years. Lost to time, lost to space, left to never die in a space of fire and remorse, as the only aid she has are the souls of the departed. and with a melody so strong, so forlorn, that all who hear it are drawn to be in an audience in slumber.
Mm-hmm.
She's been freed from your torment, you self-centered, sadistic savage! She was found and freed from your curse!
How did you possibly free her? No. No, this isn't right! You removed the curse!
Wait, what?
Overconfidence slowly kills you, Voidtail. She was freed from your torment, but yours shall be renewed.
Revan! Stop!
The lack of remorse for those you made suffer, the joy you take in the loss of their lives, the atrocities that you committed to your own family. These bars stop a premature departure, but I'll make sure when your time comes, you'll be waiting in line, ready for it.
Reuben? We should talk about this.
We're done here.
Reuben? Reuben.
I'm right here, Kua.
He didn't grab your tails. That wasn't a new curse, was it?
No.
That was not a smart move. You know that.
Yeah, I couldn't just...
Though in the same situation, I probably would have done the same thing.
I won't keep it on long. A week at most.
Let's just get back to New Treasure Town. Your nephew and the Guildmaster will be looking for you. For now, the Night Wind can help just about anybody relax, especially with a beautiful starry night like this.
As I'm sure I don't need to explain, that week never came. Malva City was attacked, and by the time I got to where Hugor was, he wasn't there. I've been working to find him ever since.
Kua, you weren't being serious about letting Hugor out for information, right?
Oh, I felt sick even making that suggestion. Even if I wanted to, the money to get him out would take several years to earn.
Just making sure. Okay, this is a lot more complicated now. Damn it. That said, ArtemisAbsol, what the fuck were you thinking? For back when the new masters were just toppled. This would have been easy to fix, to cover up. I would still hate you for it, but it would be an easy problem to sweep under the rug. Would I like it? Would I enjoy it? Hells no. But we could have dealt with it then and there. Given what my family, all of my family, has done, I should be the last one here preaching on what should or shouldn't be done about revenge and hatred. You should have ended it then and there. Letting someone that dangerous, and with such dangerous unchecked magics attached to him, live was a stupid, foolish idea. And despite all the good you and your family have done now, I know that I, for one, still haven't forgiven you lot for your role in Pan's descent.
Hold on, I wasn't even alive when Horizon did that. When I was alive, my mom was in control well after the new masters took over. I think, like, a little more than 10 years since they've been in control. Either way, we didn't do anything like that. That's what I was thinking.
Or rather, were you thinking? You were worried about your team when you encountered him in Aberloth. Yet when I told you to remove that curse, you chose against it. You fucking lied about it. Now at the height of your emotions, you go to confront him about your family, and your emotions clouded your judgment. What was going through your head when you made that call?
His demise was going through my head. I wanted to go in there for a talk, figure out what happened to Elena. By the time he finished, I wanted to end his life then and there, but that wasn't an option. It was never a good option, as much as I wanted it. I agreed to do it your way, Apollo, but it helped nothing. Prison did nothing for him but put him in a box. He's still the same sadistic stain that betrayed me and my family. But you're right. I wasn't thinking straight. I let my emotions take hold, and I acted on them rather than think. Ko even told me it wasn't a good idea, but I was too caught up in my emotions to listen. It was supposed to be temporary, a few days for what he did, and yet he didn't tell anyone for 33 years that she was alive. What's the point of interrogation then?
Reuven, you're winding up again. That's what got us here in the first place.
Sorry.
Reuven, you're fine. Just look. They found out a lot more information too, from the people whose lives were ruined to what he did to them. We even found Jericho, remember? If you focus on this one thing he did, big as it is, you're going to destroy yourself before anything happens with Hugor.
Maria's right though. I should have killed him when I had the chance. He's gonna be sitting in there for life, being taken care of for another 700 years, sitting on the fact that he's still silently making people suffer. If I did that, though, Apollo would have me behind bars instead. I'm screwed with either decision.
Incarceration was fine until you lost your temper. Now we're dealing with him running around as a loose cannon.
It isn't like I'm the one that went to Malva and blew up the prison. I know what I did. I could not have predicted the walls would be weakened and he would make his way to freedom. Even if I didn't curse him, we would have far worse to deal with.
What makes you say that?
Considering how deranged he is normally, he would have disappeared into the shadows and made plans. Revenge against me, against Elena, against my family. He could have hit Humbletown in a blind spot. Hit New Treasure Town in a blind spot. This guy is unpredictable if he's free and able to think straight. Too many possibilities have appeared with him out of his cage. This isn't only my fault. I had a hand in his insanity, sure, I'll admit that much, but this mess.
Think about it this way, Reuven. When Team Eclipse found Elena, we should have been over the moon about that. Despite Hugor's best attempt, we got one over on him in the form of her survival. He didn't say a word, nothing he could do to misguide us, and we found a way around his game and saved her. Even if there are others, we can save them too.
He isn't infallible. However, we can't just sit here waiting for him to make a mistake. Reuven, do you have a plan to capture him?
Do you have a plan to kill him?
Moria, you know we should not kill him.
We should protect the region and those who live in it from entities that would threaten them. As a rescue and exploration team, you should know that you have to be ready to do whatever is necessary to keep your team and the region as a whole safe.
Would rather it not lead to ending his life.
And putting him back behind bars is a better option?
Rather than argue about it, Reuven and I have been discussing it for weeks now with situations of trial and error. While prior plans haven't worked, they weren't bad.
He's right. Usually it was a matter of the number of people involved and Hugor prioritizing not staying in one place for too long. Speed is his boon. That's what we have to stop.
While the attacks seem at random, along with that desire to destroy, there is something of a pattern. As you know, the majority of places struck are small. Not many live there, but rescuers sometimes miss those locations, compared to the major cities.
Unmarked places in sunny plains, a remote village or two in the mountains, places that won't be missed unless they're ablaze. But places that he has, that Horizon has, been before. Of course, his presence is also known to bring distortions too, but we can narrow it down to a few options.
We're working with the Guildmaster to devise a large-scale plan to finally stop him.
Will my team be involved in this plan of yours?
Almost certainly.
Then keep me posted.
So, we have a plan developing, but there is still a strong vision as to deciding what happens with him. Do we put him back behind bars or stop him once and for all? And what about Reuven? I don't want to arrest him for this. How do we resolve this to avoid that part?
I have an idea for both. We'll do whatever it takes to end this nightmare and set things right. For now, keep gathering information as to where the strikes occur. Sapphire, I'm gonna need you to check and look into prior victims of Hugor's tyranny. See if we can find out more information on his quirks. Artemis, see if you and Moria can poke Glacialis and the others about more information when it comes to distortions. Me and Kua will keep up the search and handle the fallout for those who were affected.
Is there anything else? And let's get going. The longer we stand here, the longer we have to deal with this.
Sounds like you handled that well.
Alavi, thought you were busy in the training yard. How long were you listening?
Well, I was looking for Padrock before I suddenly heard your dad shouting from the house. Been here for about, 10 minutes or so.
Alright, so where's Padrock?
He walked by a moment ago, heading to the library, in fact. Are you gonna be alright? You seem conflicted.
I've been reminded of what Donovan said to not get involved with other people's family affairs. Unfortunately, this has gotten beyond just that.
Yeah, and you're now in a conflict of ideals. With your uncle, ironically.
If Reuven does what he and Moria want, it's going to be a fiasco. Rescuers turned murderers rarely last long in prison.
On the other hand, he sounds quite justified in himself to do it. It isn't as though we haven't permanently stopped people before either.
Not intentionally. That's the key difference here. Otherwise, we end up no better than...
Better than who?
I don't think he's at the level of Zorellen. Besides, there's still the matter that his insanity was caused by Reuven.
Who's to say he wasn't already insane?
And who's to say it wasn't made worse?
Well, from how they tell it, Aberlov is a much kinder place compared to when they first went.
Alavi, what would you do in this situation?
What do you mean?
Someone you taught how to walk, talk, and be a hero of legend may be on the verge of making a massive mistake. While his argument may seem logical, may even be logical, a crime of passion is still a crime of passion. The motive makes sense, but in going after him directly, he may have caused, if not accelerated, the current madness going on around Cassia. People are losing their homes and lives. Rescuers are stretched thin, and the region, part by part, is experiencing these burning distortions. Glacialis and the others are doing their best to not only understand the issue, but quell it. We briefly got involved fighting those things. Even Danica's come around and able to rescue all of them. Yet now we're here, and the question comes to this. Either we stop whatever curse Reuven's put on him and let the justice system take care of it, or see to it that Hugor is eliminated, stopping one problem, maybe changing it for another. What do you do? Alavi?
Can I get back to you on that?
Absolutely. If I find an answer, I'll let you know too.
Want to get some tea from Emmy's?
Lead the way.
And as expected, it went his way. Again. Through mercy, he still draws breath. He's to meet his end legally. Properly. So be it. We shall maintain our watch. We will make sure the story ends.